First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington football team and the Detroit Lions. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. A fairly short kick from the 14. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's do this.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Hey, Alabama. Hey, Alabama.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. Shotgun now for Brady. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And I'll tell you what a bird's eye view I've got here because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his to absolute devastating effect.
Now Gordon on first down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be a third and about 13. From the gun, it's Brady. Finding room to the 20. They'll find Golladay, that's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. This play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Melvin Gordon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
At their own 25-yard line.
And they can't bring him down. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 31 yards there and a first down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 41, Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
13 yards there and a Washington first. On first down, Gibson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
3rd down and 7 yards to go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7.
Each
team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need? Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one.
The score tied 7-7.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
On second down, Prescott again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And Washington has taken the lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on second down. Brady. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. And that will be incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
26-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. With these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Prescott from the gun. That one caught by Gibson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down
Let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Throwing, Prescott. Slings this deep from McLaurin. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there. From the red zone now, Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
And his kick is indeed good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you... And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Come on, guys, let's go!
Prater on to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game.
This is Washington 17, Lions 14. Matt Prater to kick.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early.
to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. So after the INT, it's Brady. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady, he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. T.J. Hockenson. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. And he's got it up and through.
Makes the score Lions 21, Washington 17.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He will find Davis. That's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
To the air again, Prescott. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And Washington has once again taken the lead. See, it didn't seem like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Prescott. This is brought in by Gibson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Washington.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibson, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to small up the ball carrier.
Throwing on second down. Prescott. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It's big Trey Flowers getting in there that time for the sack.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And that is incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
A 52-yard attempt.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Detroit Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the gun, Brady. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go, and that will tie us at 24 all. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Prescott on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Got a man, it's Gibson, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
On first down, Gibson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 40 now on second down. Prescott. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
And not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Chase Young in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Field goal, a 46-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
At their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And Washington has taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Lining up for the point after.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Operating from the gun, Brady, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson, and now it's second down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Brady will try again on second down. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun, Brady. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
This is Gordon. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Brady again. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Brady going to go on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Prescott now from the 50. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Back to throw, Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. There he goes, right side. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown.
Lining up for the point after.
So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
19-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now Brady to try again after the pick six. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10. Let's go. At their own 22-yard line.
Throwing after the interception. Brady. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on fourth down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.